Hey guys, I'm Kerry West and welcome back to my photography channel. Got another street POV video for you today. I went around during the day and I thought I'd try with a polarizer. I like to shoot through windows a lot, and kind of the problem with doing that during the day is that sometimes if you want to shoot through the window and shoot somebody on the inside or something on the inside, it's really hard to do that because of all the reflections. So if you actually use a polarizer, then you have to take your time a little bit more obviously, but you can twist it and cut that reflection and be able to see through it a little bit better, or twist it back and actually shoot the reflection as well. So the filters I like to use are these Freewell magnetic filters, and they're really nice because you kind of put the ring on your lens, and I honestly just leave it on this lens, and you can just pop it on and off without having to unscrew it, because that's one thing that drives me completely crazy about these screw-on filters normally, is that you have to unscrew it every single time, and this you can just pull it right off and throw it back on. Plus it's got this really cool magnetic lens cap as well. But anyway, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. As always, there's a pug hidden somewhere in this video, and if you're the first person to correctly post the timestamp where it's at, I'll fly you out to Kansas and leave you in Kansas. So enjoy the video. So we started off in a pretty residentially type area right next to downtown where I parked with plans to just sort of walk in. It was really cloudy, so I ended up focusing a lot more on colors than I normally would if the sun was out. So there wasn't really any shadows to play with or anything, which is what I usually like to shoot. So I started by shooting this good old dog piss magnet, and I thought it was really cool the way that all these different really vibrant colors sort of layered into each other like this. It's cool with the polarizer too, because if you twist it right in certain angles, you can really get colors to pop even more. Sort of a happy accident here. I saw this truck and I saw the guy on the scooter, but what I didn't realize at the time was the guy on the scooter actually had a red helmet on too, so that was pretty cool. I did have to crop this pretty substantially though, because I was just shooting with a 24-70, and to be back in this little alleyway and shoot through the pillars, I had to be pretty far away. I think this image would have been really cool if I had like somebody's feet walking through here in like a strong silhouette. But I stayed here for a couple minutes and nobody really came by, so I just kind of moved on. The architecture of this whole hotel area over here is something that's always caught my eye, and I always stop here. And I always really struggle to get a good shot. There's so rarely people over here. I think this is the best I've done, is these next couple shots here, but they're still not great, and I'm still just gonna keep coming back here every single time I'm in this area. As much as I love these stairs over here, this image is pretty pube-tastic. There's a lot of distractions on the very upper sliver of the image, and while these handrails kind of point towards the subject, it would help if the subject was a little more interesting. I kind of caught him in the worst stride as well. This right here is a composition that I've always really wanted to get. The way that these stairs kind of diagonally split with this like wheelchair ramp zigzagging up it, I think it'd be really cool to get somebody walking on there, but as we'll learn here in a couple minutes, this place has been closed for over a year due to COVID, so they really don't like it when people are up on this little pavilion area. Luckily, I was able to grab a couple images before they came to kick me out. I really like this one, mainly because, you know, the subject is only in the reflection, plus he's vertically mopping. And if horizontally mopping is cool, then vertically mopping is higher cool.
Sorry, real quick.
What's up?
My bosses get pissed when people take pictures. As long as there's no logos or names of the building.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures, you're good. Because I personally don't give a shit, but they do.
So yeah, no problem.
Yep.
I'll make sure. Thanks, man.
Oh, and then the plaza up there is closed. They throw a massive fit if you go.
Oh, really?
So,
It's been closed for like a year, huh?
yeah, they closed it since COVID started.
Really?
They should be opening in a couple months.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. It's always refreshing to see somebody who doesn't take their job too seriously. Like when you see somebody who's obviously not a threat, just be cool. If he was a dick, I would have been a lot more likely to stick around and annoy him. But since he was cool, I just left because I didn't want to make his job any harder. I really like this one. I like how it's really balanced with the person on the right and the left, and how both of their backs are to me. One's sitting, one's standing, and one's wearing red, and one's wearing like a really neutral color. I don't know, it's just really pleasing to me. So I waited here for quite a few minutes, and this spot right here is one reason why this polarizer was a really good idea, because I was able to cut through all those reflections, and while I didn't really get anybody walking over there like I wanted, it did allow me to sort of experiment a little bit. And then I twisted the polarizer back when these people came through, and I was able to get the reflection of them in front of the glass too. Kind of trying to line this up to where the Starbucks bag looked like this guy's face, and maybe it kind of works, but probably not. I might have stayed here a little bit longer playing with this light since the sun finally peeked through, but everybody was eyeballing me pretty hard. That's kind of the bummer about using a big lens like this, is sometimes people notice you like immediately. So I was kind of sitting around waiting for somebody to walk in front of that brightly colored garage over there, and I turned around and I saw this like red banister with this yellow car kind of peeking out behind it. And it's not the greatest composition, but I just thought that the colors were interesting. And then as soon as I was kind of lining up the shot, this Ferrari just drove into my scene, and I was able to kind of capture the tail end of that car too. So like I said, the composition isn't great. It's maybe a little messy and weird, but I still really like the balance of colors throughout. And even more really vibrant colors here, and they were all actually wearing Nike gear for some reason. They had like Nike shirts and hats on, plus they were all bright and colorful. And I love things in threes. This one didn't really work the way that I wanted it to. If she was wearing a little bit brighter colors, or if her hair wasn't dark, I think it would have worked. I kind of framed her between those flowers inside. Again, I'm not really sure if this one works either, but I kind of grabbed this guy right as he was poking his head out, and I think if his mask wasn't so bright, it probably wouldn't have worked at all. This is definitely one of my favorite shots. I love how bright his hat is in comparison to the rest of the scene, and just how he started stepping out right at the perfect time. I saw this girl walking by with her bright red shirt, and then I noticed the orange right above her head, plus the little bit of red awning material just to the left. For some reason, I seeked out a lot of really red colors on this day, which probably isn't the smartest thing, because I'm actually red-green colorblind. So I have to be really careful with pushing saturation values for red tones. again with the really saturated red tones. I sat at this one for a really long time waiting for somebody wearing either like a bright blue or another red color. This guy kind of had a pink shirt on, but what caught my eye the most was their cowboy hats dangling off the back of their heads. And after waiting even longer, I finally got this girl with her bright blue hair, and I think it just punches really well with the red background. Sorry, you're good. Little bit of an anti-stealth shot there. I just kind of popped it up and took a quick shot, and luckily he was fully in frame. He was kind of out of focus, but I did finally get somebody wearing red against that background, so I was happy with it. And if you haven't had enough red yet, Mr. Ferrari Pants came back, and I love this shot because using the polarizer, those trees just really glowed really nicely, especially with the overcast day as well, so I think all the colors just really pop nicely in this photo. This is another area that I really try to spend some time at anytime I'm near here, because these pillars that go up the building are just so nice and symmetrical, and using the polarizer, I was actually able to darken down the reflection from the windows and turn them a bit more black to eliminate some of that distracting reflection. Another one of my favorites. I love how brightly colored his whole suit is, especially with the white truck, and I just really emphasized that in the edit. I don't know if the polarizer had much of an effect on this, because I didn't really have time to adjust it. I just kind of pulled the camera up and took the shot, but I went with a square crop on this one because I think it just kind of framed the truck nicely. So anyway, that was the last shot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be bringing my polarizer with me pretty much anytime I go shoot during the day, because I feel like it almost doubles my opportunities for photos. So anyway, if you liked it, please subscribe and like, or send me nudes or whatever you want to do. If you didn't like it, then you might as well just stop wiping, because nobody's going to want to be around you anyway, and you might as well save some money on toilet paper if you're not subscribed to me. So I'll see you guys in the next one.